Everyone, Johnny here, Don't Speak News. News you're not supposed to speak about, and we've got some breaking news to start this segment, as the U.S. State Department has forced Scott Ritter off the plane to Russia, and they've confiscated his passport. So according to Scott Ritter, he said, as I was boarding my flight out of New York, I was pulled aside by 3 CBP officers who seized my passport. When asked why, they said orders of the State Department, no further information was provided. So no due process, no nothing, no reason. Just orders of the State Department, boom, taking it from you. Oh, but you're free in America, right? You're free to travel, you're free, freedom of speech, all that stuff, right? Yes, unless your freedom of speech isn't approved by the U.S. government. I mean, guys, wake up. I get so tired of getting emails and messages saying, well, if you don't like America, you can just get up. It has nothing to do with liking or hating America. Nothing to do with it at all. It's the hypocrisy that America stands for. Truth, justice, and the American way, and freedom, blah, blah, blah. It's all BS. As long as the speech is approved, you have freedom of speech. As long as your travel is approved, you have freedom to travel. Otherwise, it's not. And they can do this to you at any time that they want. The Constitution is gone. It's been gone for a long time, over 20 years. Longer than that. You go back to 1871 if you want, but since the Patriot Act in particular is what I'm talking about here, which was 2001. So 23 years, we definitely have not had a constitution. And yet you guys want to write to me and tell me to get out of America if you don't like it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Believe me, if I could, I would. But as a born-again believer in Jesus Christ, I'm a pilgrim here. I don't belong to this world, and you shouldn't either. We're not supposed to take oaths. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no. Anything else is evil. But we've been brainwashed into taking pledges of allegiance and oaths and all this stuff we're not supposed to do. And yet Christians have been doing it because they've been brainwashed into it since they were born. And yet when you look at the reality of so-called freedom in America, you can see it right here. It does not exist. Not as they say it does. Now, as I say it does, only if you toe the line and don't rock the boat, and you can't fight City Hall, Johnny. Well, yes, you can, and I'm going to keep doing it till I'm not here anymore. But anyway, you're not free. So stop writing me and telling me that you are, because you're not. Just because you don't believe it doesn't make it change. All right. Now we're going to get over to Ukraine, which is probably what Scott Ritter was going to Russia to talk about on Russian television. But anyway, Ukraine attack key element of Russia's nuclear umbrella. Now we know this, we talked about this probably 10 days ago or so, as one of Russia's early warning radar systems was attacked by Ukrainian drones. And like it says here in this article, the US should be seen as directly responsible for a Ukrainian strike on a key element of Russia's nuclear umbrella. That's according to Senator Dmitry Rogozin, warning that such attacks could lead to the collapse of the entire global security architecture. Nuclear security architecture. In a statement on Telegram on Saturday, Rogozin, a senator who previously headed up the Russian space agency, Roscosmos, is now in charge of a military technical center called Tsar's Wolves. That said, the attack targeted a nuclear early warning system in the southern Krasnodar region. The Russian Defense Ministry has yet to comment on this, while the extent of the damage remains unclear. Well, according to the information I have, it doesn't take a lot to damage these things to where they can't see. But once again, like it says here, the Russian Defense Ministry hasn't said anything as of yet. But Rogozin suggested it was extremely unlikely that the strike, which Ukrainian media reported involved several drones, was carried out at Kiev's sole initiative and without U.S. involvement. Of course it was. Of course it was done at Washington's behest in NATO. We always said that. Ukraine has no reason to attack these early warning radars. They don't have nuclear weapons. NATO and the US have the nuclear weapons. And so since these things are being attacked, and what they're trying to do is blind Russia to a nuclear attack. And now we have more confirmation of this over here in Hal Turner, because he's learned from diplomatic sources that embassies of a number of countries in Moscow are today conducting active consultations on the risks of Russia delivering retaliatory strikes within the framework of their military doctrine. Meetings are being held between ambassadors and military attachés of a number of countries at the Slovak embassy in the Russian Federation. Some countries have received warnings through diplomatic channels about the risk of attacks on their military installations. And Hal is talking about countries that supply weapons to Ukraine. According to information I received, Kiev intends to attack additional sites of the missile attack warning systems of the Russian Federation using Western weapons. Just what we got done talking about over here. Such an attack would be perceived by Russia as an attack on key elements of nuclear deterrence, and the response would be given in accordance with Russian military doctrine. Countries that have been notified do not include the US and UK. The Russian Foreign Ministry notified 14 other countries. Among them are Canada, the Czech Republic, Slovakia, France, and Germany. I can also confirm that the Russian Foreign Ministry note was received by Sweden, Denmark, the Netherlands, Finland, and Japan. Again, the countries not told are the US and UK. Read between the lines, guys. We haven't been told because maybe we're the ones going to be hit, question mark. The fact that the Russian Foreign Ministry has discreetly told these other countries that retaliation is coming, but has not told the US and UK, seems to indicate whom the retaliation is going to be launched. Well, I think we're going to get right with God fast, Hal says. Well, I would agree with that part. Prayed up and prepped up at all times. But, wow. It would not surprise me because they've already done this. They've already taken a couple of swipes at Russia's nuclear umbrella. And so far, Russia hasn't done anything in retaliation. But now it appears that at least this senator is saying this is a very dangerous game they're playing and that they need to stop. And now they've been warned. Well, the US and UK haven't received formal warnings, but all these other NATO countries sure have. And like it says, they've been the ones supplying weapons to Ukraine. And it sounds like any of them are fair game, but the US and UK, I think, are going to be struck the hardest. And it could happen at any time, guys. So that's why I always say prayed up and prepped up at all times. And being prayed up first is the best preparation you can make, because we're not guaranteed any amount of time here in this life. It could end today, any one of us. So we always need to be ready, because that next step is eternity. So today, seek Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. He's the way, the truth, and the life. No one gets reconciled to the Father but through him. He said it himself. So seek him today while there's still time. All right. Well, that's it for now. Don't forget don'tspeaknews.com. It's home base for everything that we do. Got our funding going for June 2024. I want to thank everyone who's contributed so far. I sincerely appreciate it. There has been some contributions outside of this that I'll have to make notations of. So I thank everyone who supported thus far. And we have all kinds of other stories, including this one I just put up here yesterday, late last night, a short overview of the 2014 Crimean crisis, which will show you, in part anyway, of how we got to the point we are now with the war with Ukraine and Russia. So it was started and precipitated by NATO. I also put this one up yesterday. De-dollarization continues as Saudi Arabia won't accept dollars for oil beginning June 9th. So right here, June 9th, the agreement between United States and Saudi Arabia to sell Saudi oil in US dollars exclusively ends. The Saudi prince has already notified the US that this agreement will not be renewed and will no longer accept US dollars. So you can read more about that right there. All kinds of stories here, guys, over 2,000 of them for you to peruse and research at don'tspeaknews.com. If you'd like to subscribe to get updates every time I put something up, click the subscribe tab. Type in your email here, hit subscribe, and you're in. I will, and these are the two email addresses for now that you can contact me at, but I will be eliminating Gmail. I'm going to be going to Proton Mail only. I've got various reasons for doing that. Maybe I'll explain it one day, but just having a lot of trouble with Gmail. As many of you have already dropped it. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and drop it too and just put don'tspeaknews@protonmail.com as our only email address for now. This really doesn't need to be more than one anyway at this point. And if you'd like to find us on different spots where we broadcast, click this YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble tab. And all the links where you can find us, where I broadcast, including YouTube, are right here. Of course, YouTube is limited on what I can put up there because of the extreme censorship. But there you go. All that and more right here at don'tspeaknews.com. And that's it for now. God bless. Take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.